When I first went on the trip at 12 years old, never in my life did I think that I was going to know these people and spend so much time with these people almost 10 years later. And now On River Time has a branch of the organization called SOAR.
At 18 years old, the world tells kids you should have everything figured out. And we began to realize that as our kids graduate from high school, they don't have everything figured out. There's still a lot of unknown. And so we began to think on and pray through how can we better serve our kids as they begin to navigate independence. And so we were looking for partners that would come alongside us, that would pour into our kids, that would teach them professional responsibility, personal responsibility, and most importantly, spiritual growth.
So in 2020, with COVID, we quickly learned that our camps would have to be canceled, which was heartbreaking because we know everything that takes place at this camp and how lives are transformed. So I had reached out to Brody Croyle at Big Oak Ranch and said, literally while the kids were in quarantine, how can we serve you? What can we do?
They serve our ministry in such a wonderful capacity every summer, but then they were also looking for opportunities to pour into ministries in other times of the year, which began a conversation with Wendy and I. Hey, would y'all be willing to come and pour into our kids?
So we created SOAR, which is Success, Opportunity, Attitude, and Resiliency. And it's packing in all of these life skills for these kids. And we did the job interview readiness and resume writing and etiquette. And all of these are kind of packing their toolkit, is what I say, to help prepare them to be successful as adults.
I feel like it's another way that we can come alongside these kids and to let them know that they are worth something, that their worth, again, is not found in the circumstances or the things that they've been through. When they graduate from high school and have moved into college or the career path, it does not end there. We are here for them, and we want to continue to help them to soar and succeed in whatever that next chapter of life looks like for them.
So providing professional guidance and experience is very important for our kids. But what I also love about On River Time is they see it from a different perspective, that relational perspective. They allow opportunity for our kids to experience things about themselves outside of the classroom. And I think specifically about one of our boys, Jay, who was really struggling. He was concerned with, is welding really right for me? Even though I looked at you when I was 13 and said, hey, Miss Kelly, I'm gonna be a welder one day, and you began to pursue it. You started it in high school, you pursued it after high school, and you're working with it, but it gets hard. Life gets hard, it brings challenges. And they offered an opportunity for our kids to go to Earthborn Pottery and experience what it feels like to sit at a wheel. And out of all of our kids that were there that day, Jay sat at that wheel. And not only did he throw one piece of pottery that was beautiful, he threw two.
Well, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just like mixing around. And then next thing you know, it just came out like that. And I said, I'm done, that's it, period.
The lady walked over and looked him in the eye and said, you were made to do this. And that moment gave him confirmation that you're right. This is a gift that God gave me. I am supposed to use my hands. And On River Time walked alongside him and brought things in his life at just the right time. And when he walked across that stage and he graduated from Fortis Institute with a welding certification, you're thinking, wow, God has provided the right people to provide a village for him so that he would stay the course. And now he's working in his very first job as a professional welder in Bessemer, Alabama. And so we are so, so proud of him.
They all have their own stories. But to see the resiliency that the Lord has placed in each one of them to continue on with what they're doing. And it's a privilege to be able to be a part of the Lord's work and seeing this happen.
One thing that the Lord has just blessed me with to learn is that it doesn't matter what my life circumstance has looked like in the past or what it's going to look like in the future, but the Lord has a purpose and a plan for what my life is and how He wants to use it. And so I would say that is 1,000% worth it. I was 12 the first time I came, and I'm 20 years old, still in love with the organization and still being able to pour right back into it. So yes, 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 1,000 times support On River Time.